Hey love, this is going to be the best waakye stew you'd ever make in your life, and I'm not even exaggerating. But before we get cooking, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Aram, and then welcome to my food blog Vamidan, which literally means come let's cook in my local dialect, Ewe. On today's menu, we're making this very crowd-pleasing, delicious waakye stew. Authentic Ghanaian street-style waakye stew. Anyways, let's get cooking. So I'll start by prepping my ingredients. So over here we have our ingredients for our marinade. I'm using 3 large onions, some garlic, some ginger, a teaspoon of aniseed, and then black pepper. I'm going to transfer all that into my blender, add a little water to that, and then blend till that is smooth. Once our marinade is nice and smooth, I'm going to transfer that into a bowl and set aside for later. So for our next step, we'll be making a pepper mix. So these are the ingredients: an onion, some tomatoes, ginger, garlic, red Scotch bonnets or kpakposhito, green pepper, and 1 bay leaf. I'll transfer that into the blender also, add some water to that and blend. Also be sure to adjust the pepper to your taste buds. Once my mixture is nice and smooth, I'll transfer that into a bowl and then set aside for later. Now let's move to the actual cooking process. So I have in my hands my Wele or cowhide, which has been well cleaned. I'll be going in with some beef as well. To that I'll add 2 ladle scoops of the blended marinade, some salt to taste, and 1 stock tablet. I'll go in with enough water, mix that up, give that a very good mix, and then transfer that onto my electric cooker. I'll leave that to cook for 10 minutes on medium heat. After 10 minutes, we'll check on our meat, and if your Wele is as stubborn as mine, you would have to go in with some more water so as it can cook well and be very tender. I'll cover and cook that for an additional 10 to 15 minutes. It's time to check on our meat again, and finally it is cooked. I mean, look at how soft and sexy this Wele looks. I'll quickly take that off fire, and then we can move on to our next stage, which is the frying of the beef. Into my cooking pan, I'll be going in with enough oil. I'll heat that up for a couple of minutes, and then I'll be going in with my beef. You want to be gentle with this because you don't want the oil splattering everywhere. So I'll fry that on all sides, turning occasionally. Once your beef attains a golden brown color just like this, then you know your beef is ready. So at this stage, you can take your beef out and then set it aside for later. Now let's move on to the actual stew making process. So I'm going in with 1 bay leaf. You should consider turning off your cooker at this stage. I'll be adding my blended onion marinade to that also. You can turn on your cooker after adding the marinade now because the oil would have cooled down a little. I'm going to fry the marinade for 3 to 5 minutes. Stir occasionally to prevent it from sticking to the bottom of the pan. Next, I'll be going in with 2 little scoops of tomato paste. I'll give that a very good mix till everything is well combined, everything is uniform and evenly mixed. I'm going to cover and leave that to cook for an additional 3 to 5 minutes again. And then I'll add my blended pepper mix to that. I'll give that a good mix also. And then go straight ahead to season it. So for seasoning, I'll be using 1 stock tablet, some salt to taste, and 1 teaspoon of curry powder. I'll add a teaspoon of rosemary as well, and then go ahead to add my Wele together with the stock. Give that a very good mix and then proceed to season with a tablespoon of shrimp powder. Now, adding the shrimp powder is the secret to achieving that street authentic delicious Waakye stew flavor. So do not miss that step. I'll cover and leave that to cook for 10 minutes. So once the stew is nice and cooked, I'll be going in with my fried beef and some boiled eggs, because what is Waakye stew without boiled eggs? I'll be adding some Green Scotch bonnets or kpakposhito to that as well. It is completely optional. So I'll cover and leave that to cook for an additional 5 to 7 minutes so that the meat and then the eggs can absorb the delicious flavors from the stew. And as simple as that, our Waakye stew is ready. It doesn't just look good, it tastes great as well. So let's move on to plating. So I'm going to plate in my green leaves, which is locally called ahaban. So I'm going in with some waakye. I'll go in with some macaroni or talia. I'm adding some gari as well. So this gari is basically achieved by mixing some of the stew with the regular gari we have on the market. I added some salad, which is basically a mixture of cabbage, lettuce, onions and tomatoes. I'm going in with my coated fried fish as well. If you want a recipe on how I made this fish, kindly comment below. And finally, the Waakye stew goes on top. This stew was so good, It was so delicious. And finally, I'll add my rich Ghanaian shito. I have a recipe on that as well, so check it out. So we've officially come to the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, if you found this video useful, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more delicious recipes. And please don't forget to leave me your valuable comments. Kindly like and share as well. Thanks for watching and bye.